Asics trail shoes. Oh yes. Hello, welcome to the Rocket Runner. Today we are looking at the Asics Gel Fuji Renegade 2, and yes, that is a mouthful for a training shoe. This is very much your off-road trail shoe, fell running, boggy, grassy, muddy ground type shoe. This is the shoe that Asics wants you to buy if the ground is going to be getting definitely into the rough stuff. It doesn't have masses of cushioning. It's not really designed to. It's got the gel technology that Asics like within there. It's got decent amount of cushioning for what you want it for. Really, this shoe is all about the grip. It does have a 6mm drop from the heel to the toe. This is a shoe that I personally used for the Tough Mudder last year. And yeah, I had a good time with it. I had a good time. But let's get stuck into what is great and maybe what is not so great. So what I think is great, well, on a shoe like this, you've got to look at the grip. I've done OCRs before where I've seen people sliding and slipping and having a really hard time because they have not got themselves some decent trail shoes. This thing has grip and then grip and a bit more grip on the side. If you look at the shoe, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but it's got these chevron shaped lugs, and these are really designed to hook in. So in the heel area, you'll see that they're sort of designed almost facing backwards, so that you're coming down, down a hill, down a sort of a mound or whatever. It's going to key in there because you're more likely to be heel striking. At the forefoot here, you've got the lug set up in a different combination of ways, really again just giving you grip in all different directions, and even round to the toe area, very aggressive lugs around here, and also a decent amount of protection for your toes at the forefoot there. So really an excellent gripping system. And when I used it, I don't remember slipping once. This thing just keyed into the ground really well. I say the cushioning on this sort of shoe, it needs to be a little bit of a compromise. You don't want so much cushioning that you can't feel what's going on with the ground underneath your feet. So you need to get some feel through. That's how I personally feel. But at the same time, you don't want your feet being completely wrecked by the end of the race. You kind of want to be comfortable as well. And I do think that this shoe does that really well. It's that nice compromise between feel and comfort. So for me, that's definitely a winner. The upper section, this is like a welded overlay it's got on here. One of the interesting things is the collar. Now this is very much a sort of ankle sock fit collar. So the tongue and the collar and the upper part here, this is all as one piece of material. The idea is it's supposed to sit very snugly around, sort of just around your ankle area. To stop loose bits of debris, loose bits of rubbish and mud and grit from getting into your shoe. Regular collars are maybe a little bit more open. This is going to be a little bit more snug. So you can see that kind of makes sense. You think, yeah, okay, I get that. And I would say, yeah, it probably works as well. I didn't pull much rubbish out of the shoe. When I did the Tough Mudder, there was some debris that got in there, but it was completely acceptable for the sort of race that I was doing. I also find the lacing very good. You get a nice fit across your forefoot there. It's not too tight. It's a nice fit. It doesn't move around too much. Some people have commented, I've seen online, saying that the heel can cause blisters. Personally, I didn't. I found the fit to be really good, but it's worth trying these on if you're looking at them. And also found there was a decent amount of room in the toe box for your toes to splay when you're running. So again, that's all excellent. It has this strange lace guard protector. Yeah, I don't really know what that's going to do. And a hook, because you want a hook on the back of your running shoe. I don't know what that's for either. Waste of time. But let's get on to maybe what's not so great, because it's not all sunshine and rainbows. And when we're looking at things that aren't so great, we've really got to look at the inner sole. This has a removable inner sole, and when they say removable, what I found it to be was just movable as well as removable. In other words, I would be running when I was doing some practice runs, some trail runs before the Tough Mudder with this. I kept on finding that the inner sole was moving and it was squidging down to the front of the shoe and sort of concertinaing up, and it was just plain rubbish. And in the end, I took it out of the shoe and I threw it in the bin, and I bought a new pair and I put those in, and hey presto, it was wonderful. And I went from not liking the shoe that much to loving the shoe. So why Asics have released a shoe with an inner sole that moves all over the place is to me a mystery, but they did. When I replaced it, I found it to be absolutely awesome. Another point, and it's not really a criticism as such, but more of an observation, is this thing is fairly good if you're sort of running through puddles and there's splash, the water goes on. This sort of welded overlay is quite good at keeping the water out. But if you're doing something like an obstacle course race where your feet are going to spend a lot of time in and out and in and out of water, and your whole foot, or maybe a certain amount of you, is going to be completely immersed, it doesn't shed water very, very well. So I found that when my feet had gone into full-on dunking, where I was up to whatever I was in water, it took a while for the water to come out. I've got some other shoes which I found the water sheds really quickly. So I think depends on the sort of running you're going to do. If you're going to do more just trail running, depending on how you get on with the inner sole, these could be awesome. If you're going to spend a lot of time in and out of water, there's probably better options out there in the market for you. Overall though, I really like this shoe. I like the looks of it. Looks are very subjective, of course. Some people might love it, some people might hate it. I find it very comfortable, I find the fit great. Now I've changed the inner sole, I find that comfortable. I find it really good for trail running and for ground that's going to move and squish, and you want something that's going to really key in. This is a great shoe. Maybe look at other options depending on how much time your feet are going to spend in the water. But all in all, definitely for me it's a solid 4-star shoe. Could have got the 5 stars if the inner sole hadn't been completely useless, but actually even with that, now it's fixed, for me I really like this shoe. It's really comfortable, super finish, love the styling, love what it does. So yeah, definitely worth looking at. I hope you enjoyed the review, and I'll see you on the next one.